My boyfriend broke up with me and now I'm in complete shambles. I'm posting here for both help, and to understand and maybe to even move on or just forget about it all and or to try and get him back. I met someone a few months back while in a different country, wasn't my intention to like someone or be in a relationship. It was bored and wanted a beer, so did he, so we met, enjoyed the non-date date, and slept together that night. Since then we had seen each other every day. I would cook dinners for him, a breakfast in bed, meet his friends. He showed me the houses he renovate, took me out. We weren't sure if we should end things or proceed. I had to travel for a few days for work, so we decided that I come back after that and stay with him for a week, and if things went well, we proceed with the relationship. So that's exactly what I did. Went to work, then traveled back. During the week, I had a discussion, he had a fight. We went to a party, at some point he disappeared and I was stuck talking to random people for a while. This is fine by me, only that I would have liked to know where he was in case I needed something or I don't know, wanted to hang out with my boyfriend. Eventually, when I found him, I expressed that he could have just let me know that he would be around and that I felt a little bit like it did not matter if I was here or not. He got pissy, walked away, and accused me of trying to keep tabs on him. I explained that I am here for you, I have traveled here for you, I don't ask you to text me all the time, or call me all the time, all I'm saying is we are on a night out together, I'm in a different country, just tell me you're around. He basically broke up with me, however, apologized the next day. His apology did seem genuine to me, and I thought he understood the issue. I went back home for a month to write my PhD thesis and submit, and then was to return for 3 weeks. In that time, we kept in touch, mostly on his terms. He is not good with calls and texts, so whatever effort he made I appreciated it a lot. I did not force him to call me every day, or text me every day, even though I would have loved for him to drop me a text daily. I knew that it wasn't him, he works a lot and needs a lot of space. He often asked me to move to his country, this was since we met, at some point even looked into getting married to get me papers. I applied for jobs, however only heard back from 2 and both the times I did not like the role enough. I was actively looking into extending my Schengen days, so that I could spend more time where he is. He did offer to visit me once or twice, but I did not have a flat of my own at the time, so I refused. Anyway, submitted my thesis and went back to his country at his place. I was cooking dinner, making sure when he got home there was food on the table. He worked the day in the office, then evening at the renovations. I would clean, I did not mind doing these things, I work from home fully, so these things are easier for me to do. One of the days we were supposed to meet somewhere at 7, I had to take a bus and a train to get there. I get there and I text him, turns out he hadn't even left at 7 and did not even bother telling me that he was going to be late. He was 30 minutes late and I was very livid, but decided not to make an issue out of it because did not want to ruin the night. The next day after work and dinner we went to the center, and within 10 minutes he called his friend to hang out. This was the first evening where we were out together and he did not even bother to talk to me about my day or how my work was going, how my flat hunt was going. A couple of days later, we had separate nights, I went to see my friends and he went to see his. I got back and realized I did not have a key. So I called him, around 12, no answer. I texted, no answer. I did this for around 2 hours, with no response or answer. At around 2 I gave up, and took a taxi back to my friends. He got home, calls me. When I asked him why he did not answer for 2 hours, his response was, I was with friends, it was your responsibility to take the key, even though I did not know if there was a key left for me. I just responded with, do you think what happened is right? I was there for 2 hours, a call takes 5 seconds. He hung up. The next day I get a text saying there's a key for me in the mailbox, he will be home late, and hope I have a good day. First time he's even told me to have a good day. I got annoyed. I said I want to talk and will be there at 7 to take my stuff and we can have a chat. By this week, I had feel so disrespected, it felt like my time was not valuable, like I was nothing. I am traveling to see this guy, I'm spending my money, my energy, my time to come over and see him, and he can't even spend a few minutes dropping me a text or a call. Now, when I'm trying to talk to him about things, he's completely shutting me out again. He basically said I'm welcome home, he doesn't want to talk, but if I leave it's my choice. I left, I took my stuff and went to my friend's house. After this, I lost all sanity and self-respect. All I could think was, this guy said that he was more than happy with me, He got more than what he'd asked for in a partner with me. I was doing everything for him. I loved to do those things for him. I'd have dinner ready so that he wouldn't feel tired. We could do whatever he wanted, so that he did not need to cut his working hours for me. Don't want to text often, that's fine. Don't want to call often, that's fine. Want me to move? He'll try and find out how, all because from the things he said made it look like he wanted a life with me, and now I wanted him back. I wanted to talk, I wanted to fix things. I texted, he just ignored me, wrote a letter, ignored me. Eventually, I showed up at his place. I know, I completely lost it. He took me out of the house and spoke to me for maybe 10 minutes, I expressed how I felt and that I still wanted to be together. He doesn't want to be with me. He said I was dependent, I live too far. It's not me, it's him. Even if I live too far? I'm the one that makes all the trips? He said he has too much on his plate. I asked him before this week, was there ever a time that he felt like he wanted me out of the flat, and he said no. Then he proceeded to say that he can still host me till the end of the week, but I'd have to stay in the living room, etc. I went to my friends, packed my crap and left for my country. I know that if I stay in his country any longer or go to see him, I will just make things worse for myself. So I came home, but I don't feel any better. I keep thinking of all the effort I made. I keep sending him long as texts, he doesn't respond, probably doesn't even read them, just sees them. I feel stupid, pathetic. Why would he says he found more than what he asked for? Why ask me to move? Why let me make the effort to move? Why introduce me to all your friends? Why ask me to move and say you can love me and feed me for a while? I keep asking him to reconsider, I keep crying. My friends have been lovely and supportive, but I feel like a burden to them now. This is not my first breakup, I've broken up before. But I have never acted like this. I have never begged, pleaded, cried endlessly, texted endlessly. I just feel like I want him back. I'm willing to move, willing to do whatever it takes, change the way that I communicate so it doesn't feel so pushed. I keep asking, why would he want to give up on someone he thought I got more than what I could ask for? I feel justified in my anger. I feel justified that I was annoyed for having to wait 2 hours for any sort of response. I feel like maybe I should have just waited and said, well, talk tomorrow, or just not taken my stuff, or just accepted that it happened and moved on. I thought coming back would help me, but instead I keep thinking that I should have let him host me, try to convince him to be with me. All I keep thinking about is how I want him back. I miss him so much and I just can't seem to get past this. Everything I've done so far feels so out of character and I can't push past it. I keep thinking about how to get him back. If I can get one more chance, I can do better for him. All I do is cry and write essays. Comment. Oh girl, it's time to move on. There are men who will want to make the effort and be with you and make time for you and care, and this isn't it. You can do this. Make the right choice for yourself and find a way to heal without him. Do not beg or go back. He's not worth this. There is no salvaging this relationship, and that's good. Move on, don't look back. You only met him a few months ago, so remember the good parts of your life was like before that and get back to living happily without him. Maybe talk things through with a therapist or counselor to get some clarify on why you feel so stuck on someone who was so callous and cruel to you. Honey, he's telling you that you need to be more or less grateful for any scraps of attention get thrown your way. On his time, of course. He seems entirely selfish and like he'll never take you into consideration. He doesn't want a relationship, he wants to have a woman at his beck and call. And you ain't a dog. Drop him like a bad habit. Guy sounds like a pure loser. He's not going to be able to keep a single girlfriend with this type of selfish behavior. Forget this waste of space. Guy is devoid of basic manners. Next story 2. How do you go no contact with a mill with health problems? My mill has been a nightmare since my husband and I got engaged in 2022. She was upset that we didn't ask her for help planning our wedding. We let her plan the rehearsal dinner, which she got upset and cancelled it, but gave us money to replan it, just what we wanted to do less than 2 weeks before our wedding. Fast forward to after the wedding, we go on our honeymoon for 2 weeks in Europe. She was texting my husband the entire time. I get home and my coworker/BFF asks me if my husband's mom was in the blue. I said yes, and she said that she was complaining about the seating arrangement and said she had no say in the wedding in front of our guest before the ceremony. A couple days after we return home from Europe, she has surgery for spinal stenosis and hernias. She tired to get us to go on a day trip the day after we got back from Europe that was 2 hours away, which was odd because she complained how far my wedding and bridal shower were, 1 hour away. It was the last chance to hang out before her surgery. Anyways, you get the idea of what I'm dealing with. This morning, I get an extremely long text complaining about the following. That I blocked her calls, there is some kind of issue with Verizon, I get her texts. I did not block her. For some reason, it says my number is not in service. That we did not visit her last year on Christmas, she was really sick, but I was also really sick. I had a fever of almost 104 and went to urgent care twice. I didn't even get to see my own family on Christmas. Upset that I have not visited, called, sent her a card, or thanked her. It's true that I haven't reached out to her, but I'm livid with her after our wedding in August. We sent her flowers, but she was really angry with us that they weren't there immediately after her surgery. She was discharged early, so my husband took them from the hospital to her house and she threw them away. She is upset my husband isn't helping enough with her care. She said his father is upset with him. My husband has asked him what he needs help with and he said the whole time everything is all good. She also strangely added J in the message that she wrapped our Christmas gifts and bought we a birthday present and wrapped it. My birthday is in January. I want to tell her to return whatever it is if she's going to use it as leverage like that. I'm at a loss of what to do. I really want to go no contact. I feel like she always needs to be the center of attention and freaks out. I can't take it anymore. I hate watching my husband be sad over everything. She does have legitimate health issues, but I'm at a loss of what to do. She claims that her dream of her son, wife, and grandchildren are gone, but doesn't see herself as the issue. It's so bad that even her mom, grandma, has her blocked. Comment. Up. I would send Mill an email back also copied into Phil and address the issues as you have in your post. I would then point out that this behavior does nothing to foster a healthy relationship and it has reached a point where you believe the best option is to take some much needed time out. Your negative behavior affects everyone, so perhaps use this time for some self-reflection with the view to salvaging your relationships rather than further destroying. Sometimes you need to get it out and off your chest. It may not change anything, but it does take a weight off your shoulders. Then go no contact. If her own mother has her blocked, why are you still entertaining her nonsense? Whiny, passive-aggressive, needy, spiteful, she's the victim, she never does anything wrong, wah wah, it's all there. Time to cut her off. Try not to ruminate on her messages. Treat them like junk mail. She will spew her crap, that doesn't mean you have to pay attention to it. I made that mistake with my Mill. She would write these long messages full of crazy stuff she made up about me and I let it get to me. I look back and wonder why I even cared what she thought. I never liked her much anyway. Always got the feeling she was a snake in the grass. Do her health issues excuse her behavior? Do they lessen the stress she causes you? Because you answered no to both of these questions, you may now cut contact guilt-free. If you answered yes to either of the questions, you may still cut contact guilt-free, because nobody can force you to allow her to inflict herself on you. Seriously, having health problems doesn't undo the harm she's caused, and you are well within your right to cut her out, like excising a tumor that's become malignant. Oh, what a nightmare of a woman she sounds like. Imagine how terrible your lives would be if you were involved with caring for her. Nothing you have done was ever appreciated. She sounds like she's never ever happy with what she's got. Mike Mill has Parkinson's. Is a similar nightmare to your Mill. I cared for her over the past 3 years. It all got so intense and demanding. The final straw was when we bought a house with a specially adapted extension for a disabled person, and she fell out with me because I wasn't able to drop everything I was doing on one particular day and drive 100 miles so she could attend a funeral of an old friend. Bearing in mind she has children to do this for her. I haven't spoken to her in 7 months and today she reached out. Nothing has changed. She realized the grass isn't greener with her children as they don't help. And do you know what? I'm done. I will not sacrifice my life or that of my children's for a woman who is continually ungrateful for everything I do and did. Now I'm stuck with a really high mortgage, and house that needs completely ripped apart to be livable, and a broken heart. The hardest lesson I've ever learned.